Do you think people are born with these abilities of remote viewing, bending spoons, all these things? Or is it something that they have after an ET contact? After an experience? Were they given that? Were they born with it? What are your feelings on our human capabilities and our future of having more capabilities as we become aware that we can, right, do these extraordinary things?
Right. I mean, I think it's like playing the piano. Some people are just naturals at certain things. And yeah, I can play the piano or I can sing, but you better cover your ears when I do either of those because it's harsh. But when it comes to, math or biology, intuition, that's my strength. So I think you can teach people to do something or to at least organize whatever capability or level that they have. I mean, I can be taught to play the piano, but I wasn't a Mozart at age 4. And so I think as well, just like with this, there's people who are born with it. And many of these people later in life say that either I found I needed to suppress it, or I needed to ignore it, or I found a way to manage it. So that's the first part. Now, the second part of your question was about, does the interaction cause it? I think all the interactions might do, unless somebody's reaching into your brain and restructuring how your brain operates, is reveal to you a way to accomplish it. It was always there, you just never realized you could do it. It's sort of like the muscle memory needed to be activated. And so once you realize that you can do it, it becomes easier to do it next time. So I think that for many people, when they have an interaction, there's two ways to think about it. One way, they have an interaction and that strengthens a mental connection approach that allows them to continue to do it. So just like with meditation, I mean, when I first began learning how to meditate, I couldn't do it, but now I can very quickly go into a state where I can clear my mind in 5-10 seconds. I'm not a meditator. I can't do it for more than 10 minutes, but I can clear my mind because I've learned how to do it. So I think that's part of what is going on with some people. But I think for the people, though, who, for instance, there's many stories of individuals who've had some event occur, medical event, and they wake up after this event where now they have this ability, they have some new ability. And I think one way to explain that is a process of neurogenesis, that two parts of the brain might not have previously been connected, but after damage, oxygen insufficiency in the brain caused nerve damage. The brain does have, now we understand, the ability to regenerate partially, and that might sort of create a network around the damage that connects two areas of the brain in ways that they weren't before. Now, it doesn't happen in everybody just because you got had head trauma, but in the few people that were lucky enough, if you will, to have the damage in the right place, this connection occurs. Maybe. I'm just, again, I always am disappointed in scientists who say, oh, well, that just can't be. It's like, well, why don't you just play with the idea and see where it goes? You don't have to dismiss it dismissively.
Bud Hopkins used to say, most scientists like to explain the uninvestigated instead of investigate the unexplained.